I want to make something clear. I want to make something super, super clear. Because two things could be true. I'm not saying that there is nothing to Trump and Russia. I think it's clear there's something to Trump and Russia. I mean, bottom line, and I've kind of said this, I don't want to say like I told you so, but the bottom line is, I've said this even when I was at the Young Turks, I think Robert Mueller's going to find that Trump has done a shit ton of business with Russia. That Trump was doing business with Russia while he was running for president, which we're starting to see. That Trump has had business with Russian oligarchs who are very, very shady. That Trump was trying to land his hotel in Russia, and in exchange for that, was basically promising the Russians, you know, we'll loosen the sanctions, maybe we'll pull out of NATO, you know, pull NATO and, you know, NATO troops off of your border, because there's rockets pointed at Russia coming from Turkey. That's NATO. And all these other things. Of course, the media doesn't cover that Trump, as president, has done a lot of things anti-Russia. He's armed the Ukrainian rebels. He's bombed Syria, Russia's biggest ally, twice. So those things don't get covered. So two things could be true. On one end, I actually think there is something going on, and there is shady ties between Trump and Russia. But that's not what the point of that story that I wrote is about. So obviously there's something to it. Obviously, Trump campaign was talking to Russians. I don't think, you know, the media makes it sound like, oh, these evil, they spoke with Russians. Like, who are these Russians that they spoke with? What was spoken about? You know, at a certain point, like, you know, we talk about Islamophobia. We talk about bigotry towards certain countries, certain races. Well, you know, the media is really propping up and elevating this Russia-phobia. Bottom line, campaign finance laws exist. They're not actually executed, but Trump obviously broke them, and that is a big deal. I don't think it would have swayed the election if it came out that he had these affairs. I don't think his voters care. But him trying to cover it up and fudging campaign finance forms, that is a big deal, and it's illegal. Cohen being offered something by a Russian for synergy, but not taking him up on it. It's a big deal that Russians were making overtures to the Trump campaign, but as far as we know, Trump campaign didn't take them up on it, unless Mueller has more information that he hasn't released yet. So I'm not saying that there is nothing there. What I am saying is the concept of collusion and the charge of collusion has certainly evolved since 2016. Because when I was covering the campaign, they were saying Hillary Clinton's campaign and the media were putting out this notion and this propaganda that the Trump campaign worked with the Russian government, who the Trump campaign knew had illegally hacked the DNC and the Podesta emails, and they worked with them in sync to distribute those emails through WikiLeaks. That was the original collusion. And now that has been downgraded to Trump campaign officials talked to a dozen or so Russians, and the Russians offered the Trump campaign synergy. Hey, I am happy ultimately to have egg on my face. If Robert Mueller comes out with something stronger, if Robert Mueller comes out with something stronger, or a smocking gun, as Trump writes, hey, great. But call me radical. I said, why don't we wait for some evidence? Why don't we wait for his full report and to see if he actually has evidence to back it up? It's not enough for him to just write things in an indictment. I want to know the evidence that backs up these indictments. So I just think it's a really big problem when the media, it's like football, keeps moving the goalposts. The original charge was, oh, the Trump campaign worked with a foreign government to hack emails and distribute them? Not that the Trump campaign hacked the emails, but worked with the Russian government who did. Well, been no evidence of that. And by the way, just so you know, because I kind of call it like I see it, I don't care if it's pro-Trump or not, I'm not defending Trump. I think he's awful. But I'm just calling it like it is. What they originally charged, there's been no evidence of. And the media is hysterical. Hysterical over this. So I'd like more information. Well, what did these Trump campaign officials talk to the Russian officials on? It wouldn't surprise me if the Trump campaign talked to those Russian officials about possibly that Moscow hotel and other business arrangements. Trump as president. Not Trump, his organization, but the United States and Russia could do together. Wouldn't be surprising. But to watch, it's mind-numbing. There's like nothing going on and nothing else going on in the country. Jesus, France, all of France is protesting against that rigged economy. Boy, is Macron terrible, by the way. I'm going to do a story on this tomorrow. I didn't have time today to do all the research I want to do on the yellow shirts and all this. And of course, you know, the corporate media and the Democrats in America are saying, oh God, it's Russia. Russia is brainwashing these protesters in France to go out and protest against tax increases on the middle and poor people. It's Russia. But the point is, Jesus Christ, there's, you know, if you're going to say that Trump or any campaign knowingly worked with a foreign government to distribute stolen emails to hurt his opponent, you better have evidence of that. And if you don't, I'm going to call you out on the fact that your definition of collusion has radically been downgraded over 2 years. At the end of the day, Trump's shady. We all knew it. If he broke laws, he should be held accountable. But it's funny that the Democrats want Trump held accountable for breaking laws. The Clintons, the Clinton Foundation, the emails, the coordination of super PACs with her campaign, all that's just water under the bridge. So, Endo, I agree with you. Trump can be treasonous. I think what I'm pointing out, Endo, is what is the treason here? What is the treason, Endo, or anyone else? Is the treason that the Trump campaign knowingly worked with a foreign government to distribute his opponent's emails to cripple his opponent? Because that is what RussiaGate was for basically 2 years. That's what they were pushing. That the Trump campaign, through Roger Stone and other intermediaries, were working with the Russian government to get those emails out through WikiLeaks. And there's been no evidence of that. Doesn't mean that this shady deals with Russia and, you know, he was gonna offer Putin the penthouse in the Trump Moscow to get the deal done. Doesn't mean that's right. It doesn't mean that there isn't laws that were broken, because there were, particularly with the payoff to the porn star. I can't even say it with a straight face. The payoff to the porn star and the Playboy model. I'm tired of the RussiaGate hysterics that have so dramatically changed. Because I could tell you, I was there, I was on the campaign trail. This is not what they were talking about. And if all Robert Mueller has, he possibly has more, but if all he has is the Trump campaign talking to some Russian people or whoever these Russians were, and we don't have details of what those conversations were, or if the Trump campaign took up these offers of synergy, boy, that will be one movie that ending is less than we bargained for.